Are you losing yourself in your relationships? Hi, I'm Brenda Mailer with Sea Bright Spirit. Today I'd like to chat with you about the importance of understanding our roles in our relationships so that we don't lose who we are to that relationship or look to the relationship to somehow complete us. So I want to ask you, how easily are you staying true to yourself in your relationships? Do you even know what that might be like? Do you feel so lost within your relationships that maybe you can't even reflect on, well, who am I? Checking in with ourselves in a way where we know what is important to us, understand our needs, and see how we even add value into relationship is really, really important, especially if you want to have healthy and meaningful relationships. So I want to talk about a couple of ways where I typically have, experienced myself or seen with clients of how we might lose ourselves in relationships. Okay. So the first one is the tendency to chameleon yourself. All right. So what does that mean? It means you're probably trying to fit yourself in. You might maybe notice yourself dressing like those that you're going to be around. Maybe you start in tuning into those people's preferences so that you can also like those preferences. You might follow what others do, that old, if your friends jump off a cliff, you're going to jump off a cliff, right? But, in myself, that got me in trouble with, addiction and things like that, just following what others were doing. And so it's really, really important to recognize that, to notice, okay, I'm kind of tending to, try to fit into this group of people or this situation so that I feel maybe more liked or more loved or accepted or appreciated, and I won't feel like I'm going to be left out. So another way that I find we tend to lose ourselves in our relationships, and I do want to be clear, I'm talking about, partnerships and friendships here. This isn't just, looking at your love life. This is also looking at your friendships. So the aspect of people pleasing. Okay. So when we tend to people please, we're always looking at the needs of others. And if we, maybe see that others are happy, then we're like, okay, we're accepted, we're loved, right? And typically in those types of situations, we're often overlooking our own needs and just looking to fulfill what the other person needs. And this can be a big detriment because, number one, now you don't feel satisfied, you don't feel fulfilled, and you're seeking that sense of happiness and acceptance through the other's experiences rather than your own. Another way that this can show up is where you maybe stop, sharing your opinion or saying what you even want in an experience. And then you just let others always choose, maybe it's the restaurant or, maybe it's supper, what does everybody else want to eat tonight? And so you're just letting others choose without ever, affirming or asserting yourself as saying, well, this is really important to me and I really want to experience that. And so if we can somehow, collaborate and work together so that everybody's needs are met, that can always feel a little bit better, right? So, why is it that we tend to do this? Let's look at that for a moment. Typically, there's a desire to be liked, belong, to be loved, where we feel that we can't necessarily be ourselves. No one will appreciate or accept us for who we are. And often deep inside there is a fear of being abandoned, of being left alone. And then, well, who am I if I don't have people around me? Or, what, maybe we define ourselves by the roles that we play in our relationships. And so, well, if I'm not a friend to this person, or if I'm not a mother anymore, then it's like, oh my God, who am I, right? If I'm not a partner in a relationship, what does that leave me as or with? So, looking at yourself to overcome this, really tuning into who you are by identifying, what is it that is important to me? What is it that I value? What is it that I like or don't like? And in order to do this, it's really, really helpful to have a safe and supportive environment to explore this in. You might be able to do it on your own, and that's awesome. If you can tune in and start recognizing, okay, these are the things that I'm compromising in myself. These are the things that I'm not fulfilling for myself. Then you can maybe start to make some changes and start to maybe assert yourself or speak up or take a different action when you're in certain situations with partners or friendships. But really becoming aware is the key here, okay? And then taking action from that point. So again, having somebody that you can kind of bounce ideas off of, with somebody that you trust, that you feel is going to meet you where you are, is really, really helpful. And as you do that and you start to open up to what it is that you want, how you want your life to feel, what it is that you want for yourself, then you can begin to appreciate and nurture the things about you that make you unique. That make you important as you are, without having to change yourself for anything or for anyone. And as you can cultivate that internal relationship, then you'll notice yourself showing up very different in the world around you. Accepting yourself first, you will not fall in the trap of losing yourself. And that is so, so wonderful. So the final piece that I just want to share about this is recognizing that, what is a healthy relationship? So again, whether it's a friendship or a partnership, recognizing that there is like two individuals and a relationship. Okay. And each individual adds value to that relationship. If you just have one person not adding value and all of it is one-sided, it's not balanced, it's not going to flow, and something's going to fall apart at some point, whether it's because you feel resentful or you're unhappy or you just, things just don't work that way. We do need a sense of balance. And, I hear so often people saying, this relationship really completes me, or this person really completes me. And that is a detriment to yourself, I'm going to say, because if we can value each person, each individual, and their uniqueness and how they contribute to the relationship, and how they both have their own individual, lives and experiences and things that are important to them, then it just adds so much to the relationship. And we don't tend to look at the other person to complete us or validate us. And we can learn to do that for ourselves, so that we both firmly stand in the relationship, and there's a sense of equality or equanimity and balance within the relationship. And that, to me, is a healthy relationship. So I hope that this is, resonating for you today, hopefully helpful, maybe some things to consider for yourself of how you're showing up in your relationships. And some relationships might be very different than others. You might feel more open and able to, be yourself around some people, and you might have a harder time being yourself around others. And just recognize that. Don't be hard on yourself, but just notice, like, what is it that I'm afraid of in these other relationships that I tend to not show up as myself. And if you don't know who you are, start getting curious. I have a Pathway to Clarity workbook you can download on my website. Helps you get clear on what's important to you. And that's available anytime for free, so you can check that out. And if you need any help or support with it, I'm always here as well. You can reach me at brenda@seabrightspirit.ca. Feel free to send me a message or comment. Let me know how this is landing for you. you, because I really want you to be yourself. I want you to love yourself as you are, respect yourself, appreciate yourself, and show up in the world around you in the ways that you can truly add value to those relationships. So thank you for being here. I look forward to connecting with you again soon. And if there's anything I can do to support you, please reach out. Take care. Hey friends, did you find this video helpful today? I really hope so. Please subscribe, like the video, and if you have any comments to share, just drop them below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks again for being here. I'll connect with you again soon.